Niche is too small for a team. The whole argument is one chart. So let's build it together, one honest piece at a time. Quick recall from last Friday. Tenet 1. Leverage is real, and so are the gatekeepers, both at once. That's the foundation the whole season sits on. This Friday builds the first room on top of it, and it answers the obvious next question. If the leverage really is real, where do you actually spend it? The answer is the markets everyone bigger has already looked at and walked away from. That market's too small. I've heard it from people far richer than me about the best niches I've ever found. And here's the thing, they weren't wrong. They were right for a team. The niches actually worth having are usually the ones a bigger player already ran the numbers on and walked away from. The exact fact that makes a market too small for them is what makes it perfect for you. So let's take that reflex apart, honestly, and see why it flips. Here's the shape of it, redacted down to the lesson. A real market a venture team looked hard at and passed on. Too small to fund salaries, too slow to ever return a fund. And genuinely, for them, the wrong call would have been to chase it. The same market, one person quietly picked up and shipped into production. Not a unicorn, a real, paying, livable thing. Same niche, opposite verdict. And the verdict flipped on one variable only, the size of the floor the person doing the math had to clear. So let's do the math plainly, starting with the team. A team has to clear a tall floor before it sees a single dollar of profit. Salaries first. That's the biggest line, and it recurs every month whether the work lands or not. Overhead stacks on top. And then a return, because the capital that funded the team expects a multiple back, not just its money. Stack those up, and the break-even line sits high, well above what a genuinely small niche could ever bring in. So for a team, most of these markets really are too small. That part of the cynic's case is just true. Now run your floor instead. Rent and time. That's most of it. No salaries because there's no payroll. No investor return because nobody funded you. The deck of costs a team has to carry collapses down to 2 cards. And the same niche that couldn't clear a team's floor clears yours without straining, because your break-even line sits below the market, not above it. Now put both on one chart, and the whole argument is a single picture. The same market band, 2 break-even lines. One sits above it and fails. One sits below it and clears. Nothing about the niche changed between those 2 lines. Not the customers, not the price, not the demand. Only the size of the floor did. That is the entire flip. And it's why too small is always a statement about the team doing the math, never about the market itself. 2 honest cautions, because I'm not selling a fantasy. This isn't a unicorn play. Small still means small. You aren't going to raise on it, and you probably won't sell it for a fortune. And it isn't free money either. It's a livable business, one that pays a single person well precisely because it's sized to a single person's floor. So refuse both lies, the lie that it's nothing worth doing and the lie that it's a rocket ship in disguise. What it actually is the most underrated thing on the whole menu, a market that comfortably fits exactly one of you. So here's the line to keep. Stop sizing markets for a team you don't have. Size them for the one you do, which is 1. The moment you swap the floor and the math, half the markets people call dead turn out to be quietly, comfortably alive. 4 moves start to finish. The reflex, too small, is a verdict about the floor, not the market. The anchor, same niche, opposite call. The math, a team's floor sits above the market, yours sits below it. And the honest caution, it stays small, and that's exactly the point. Put them together, and they're one tenet, and that's tenet 2. Small niches are a solo advantage. It sits right on top of tenet 1. Leverage is real, gatekeepers are real, because the cheapest place to spend that leverage is the market everyone bigger has already dismissed. Next Friday, the question this forces: if you can build it alone, should you?